Idaho is in a battle for its conservative soul. Since 2015, over 248,000 people have moved to Idaho. Imagine adding the city the size of Boise to Idaho every 10 years. Talk about a challenge. And to make matters worse, approximately 36% of the people moving to Idaho are liberal-minded. They want desperately to change Idaho into a more socialist, progressive, woke place to live. With Brad Little and the Republican good old boys controlling the Idaho House, Senate, and Governor's office for the past 26 years, being Republicans, you would think that Idaho would be the most conservative state in the country, but it's not. Here are some facts. As a state senator, Governor Little was the only Idaho representative to support gay marriage in the 2000s. In the last few years alone, Governor Little has increased Idaho's food stamp program by 24.2%. That's more than any other state in the country. Governor Little just recently dedicated $50 million in federal COVID relief funds to free government housing in Idaho. Governor Little also supported Obamacare and Medicaid expansion in Idaho. With Brad Little as governor, nearly 40% of Idaho's budget goes to state welfare. Why is this important for you to know? Because free housing, government welfare, food stamps, state-funded health care, and pushing the gay ideology have been the staple of the leftist agenda for decades now. And no person has moved that agenda more in Idaho than Brad Little. No wonder Idaho is in a fatal battle for its conservative soul. Idaho is not only #1 in growth and increased welfare programs, but during COVID, Idaho was also the first state to arrest pastors for holding church outside without masks. Idaho was the first state to arrest a mother for taking her children to the park. And Idaho was one of the first to raid businesses for not shutting down.
Just delivering this letter in response to you guys opening in contrast to the stay-at-home order.
Governor Little ordered Idaho sheriffs, city police, and Idaho State Police to arrest pastors, mothers, and business owners for not obeying his lockdown orders. Thousands of Idahoans were put out of business. Governor Brad Little simply does not understand the First Amendment here in Idaho. Religious liberties and the U.S. Constitution were decimated under Brad Little's orders. Now Brad Little is saying, "I kept Idaho open." He is saying that his emergency declaration never violated or restricted any rights of Idahoans, never put Idaho on lockdown, and never allowed for mandates for masks or vaccines. If Brad Little's emergency orders never violated or restricted any rights of Idahoans, like he said, then why did police in Idaho strip the Bible from a pastor's hands, handcuff and arrest him for holding a church service? Why is an Idaho mother still being prosecuted today by the state for taking her children to the park? If Governor Little kept Idaho open like he said, then why were so many Idaho businesses categorized as non-essential and forced to close their doors? Why were so many people in Idaho arrested and prosecuted by the state for not wearing masks? And why did Idahoans lose their job for not getting vaccinated? If Governor Little kept Idaho open, then why did he implement a 4-stage plan to reopen Idaho? Governor Little is lying to us. He is a liar. And he must think the people of Idaho are so stupid that we will believe anything he tells us.
I never mandated masks or vaccines. We responded to a crisis with a balanced approach and kept Idaho open.
Because of politicians like Brad Little, we are losing Idaho to liberals. In short, Idaho is sliding down that path and becoming more like Oregon and California. You know it, you've felt it, and you've seen it. And I don't want to lose Idaho like the good people of Colorado lost their state. In November, we have a chance to stop Idaho's slide into leftist liberalism. We have a chance to stop the destruction that Brad Little and the Idaho establishment is bringing to Idaho. If we act now, we can keep Idaho's conservative foundation and enjoy the liberties that we want and need for ourselves and for our children. I'm Ammon Bundy, and I'm running for governor because I'm sick and tired of all the political garbage that's happening in Idaho, just like you. I'm tired of our freedoms being taken from us, and I'm tired of the liberal agenda being pushed from our Idaho capital. I'm tired of the waste and corruption that is in our state and federal governments. I'm running for governor to fight and win the conservative battle in Idaho.